Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 51 of Around the Kingdom, a Disney Magic Kingdoms podcast by a guy who's worried that he might turn into a pumpkin at midnight. Coming to you from the Haunted Mansion in Disney World, Florida, I am your host, Steve Squirrel, and back on the show today from the other side of the United States is in the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland, California. It's Amy DeVore.
Yay! Hello, everybody. It's so nice to see you all. And you, Steve, thank you so much for inviting me again.
We are so happy to have you here. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for haunting us as we go along in this episode tonight. It's going to be hauntishly fun as it's late for me, and I get very punchy when it's late, so we'll see how this one goes. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you out there for joining us this week as we explore the wonderful world of Disney Magic Kingdoms. Before we get started, I want to thank our Patreons, Carrie Schumann, Kathy Clausen, Honeybee, Kira, Tom Higgins, Patricia Baisden, and Brianna Hankey. Yes, it's no longer Brianna Duke, it's Brianna Hankey. Congratulations to Brianne for getting married. We wish you the best, Brianne, with you and your family. We hope that you have lots of kids so you know exactly what it's like to be tired. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's a site where you can pledge a few bucks each month to help support the show. So if you're able to and want to help support the show, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/AroundTheKingdom. There are other ways you can be more involved with the show also. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We have a very active Facebook group, and it's a good way to stay in touch with me and the community of the show. We have a Discord channel as well, where you can chat with me and other members of the community. So come join us. The links to everything will be in the show notes and can be found on the show's main Facebook page. The Kingdom's always changing, so for reference, the show is being recorded on Wednesday, October 23rd at around 10:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Before we get started, though, I want to give a big shout out to listener and participant in the group and everything, Austin Christensen. Today's his 25th birthday. So you're a quarter century old. So congratulations.
Yay!
You've lived a quarter of a century.
Perfect. Happy birthday.
All right. So now it is time for us to go into our week in the kingdom. Amy, how was your week in the kingdom this week?
It's been really nice and busy. It's been great. So a lot to do with the startup of the mini event, Coco, and then to have the video issues that we had. But everything's smoothed out. It seems to be going well now. So it's been really good. How has yours been?
Good. It's been busy. I've really enjoyed it. There's been a lot going on, of course, with the storyline and with everything going on, but I did have a couple of little milestones going on this week. I did finally, for real, finish my Kingdom quests. I said I finished them, and then I didn't finish them, and then I thought I finished them. It's like, it shouldn't be that complicated. There's a little symbol in the corner, and apparently I play the game too late at night or something. Maybe I'm in Seattle time. But anyway, I finished all my Kingdom quests for real, so that's all done. I'm waiting for some new content.
Super exciting!
I hit level 57. I had Mickey do his little side-to-side dance. Pluto dug up a bone, and he got me 1 gem.
Yes! That's life-changing.
Life-changing. You know what he should be digging up? Character leveling scrolls.
He should be.
That's what he should be leveling up, because that's way more useful than 1 gem. Or maybe even have it so that he's digging up gems at the beginning for people that are just like getting started, and then switch it up. I think that's one.
Agree.
You know, like one of the things, going on a tangent here, they really tried. Disney Magic Kingdoms tried to like make things that were irrelevant to the game more relevant, like happiness. Like you had like 50 people running around with happiness, and you never cared because happiness was nothing. They changed the whole way happiness worked. They've got it to a pretty good level now where you need to pay attention to it, right?
Right.
Levels mean nothing in this game. So why not make them significant?
Yeah.
I think that is something for them to put on the burner there.
I think that's good.
So, yeah. Something else. So I back when I started playing a year ago or so, I did spend quite a bit of money on legendary chests because I wanted to get the
Hmm.
characters. My daughter and I would sit there and open them. It was a lot of fun. But they didn't offer at the time the floats in the chests.
Hmm.
They had the costumes, they had the characters, but the floats weren't in the chest, so I was missing a handful of floats. So in this week's legendary chest, I got the Alice in Wonderland float. Yeah, which
Awesome!
is like the grand prize for me because it's the one thing I don't have. Usually I get a concession stand or a shrubbery, you know,
Nice.
something of that relative awesomeness. So I did get the float,
Yes,
so I was super
definitely.
excited.
Very
Um,
cool. Congratulations.
yes. What else? Been busy. Building upgrades. I collected enough finally to get Wreck-It Ralph, the enchanted dressing room to the dressing room enchanted to level 2. So
Awesome.
now I can collect some glitched fabric. What about you? Have you been working on those enchanting of the different buildings?
I have been. And it's because one day, if I don't do it, it's going to come back and bite me in the butt. And I'm going to say, dang it, I wish I had done that.
So,
So,
I'm
eh,
sorry. Good. Go ahead.
yeah. So I every now and then I'll buy one of the pack of the three chests. Right now they're on sale for 120 gems, which I think is just crazy. So every now and then I'll buy them. And thankfully, though, you get like 10 of some sort of relic, 10 of some sort of other relic. So, I mean, it does give you, it's not like you're just getting one,
Right.
you know? So, I mean, it's, yeah. Sometimes I'm like, no way, I'm not buying another one. And then I'm like, but I could really use 10 just to hurry this along. So I'll buy it. So, I like how they have the bundle of three that you can get instead of just getting the one. I don't even remember how much that one is, but it's way too overpriced. So I just get the three. Um, yeah, but I try to level them as they come available. And what I've noticed, not sure if it's just me, but usually it's one attraction of your set. So like the Mickey and Friends, has several. They're kind of leveling at the same time, kind of evenly is what I'm noticing.
Okay, that's interesting.
So,
It's good to hear your perspective for how you do that because,
mhm.
um, so many everyone does the enchanting at different speeds and different
Right,
things, and I feel like I'm kind of I'm toward the end of the game, as far as where I'm at, but you're at a
right,
different level because you're like way past me, um, and and so I'm still conservative with my gems. I'm starting to
right.
get to the point where I'm feeling pretty good with my magic. I'm almost at 4 million now.
Oh, good.
But like I know like that's the next plot of land, right? Like
Hmm.
so I know that's
Yes.
all gonna get blown up real soon at some point. Um,
Right.
but my gems I'm still very conservative with.
Sure.
I have a stash and I'm comfortable enough spending them on the characters during events and stuff, but it's
Right.
hard for me to justify spending 120 or 150 gems on three chests. So
Right.
with my leveling, I for my buildings has to be much more precise. I really need
Right.
to pick and choose
Yeah.
because I want to be able to have enough resources for the chests that I need. So like I don't want to just dump all my common tokens and just blow up all my Mickey and Friends attractions, because
Totally.
if something else comes along, I need to have those common blueprints. Like for Coco or things like
Right.
that. So I'm trying to be a little bit more conservative and really pick and choose things that I need. Like so that's why I did the dressing room. The Wreck-It Ralph dressing room is important. Those
Totally. It
getting
is.
getting glitched fabric is definitely a huge advantage when you're
Yes.
playing. So that's definitely one I picked. There's Snuggly Duckling is definitely
Hmm.
one I got because of the Pascal tokens because he's new, so you're gonna need him and they're epic rarity. Um,
Yep.
Same thing with I think was it Daisy's Diner was the one that dropped Louis tokens. So
Yeah.
I kind of pick as I go along, but I haven't. It's more it's instead of just like kind of just going at it.
Hmm.
I have to be very precise. So it's cool to see like a perspective of you being able to do it, and not have those things popping up over um, things just to keep annoying you. Have you
Right.
gotten? So here's my question: have you gotten any attraction to the max level? Have you done that?
Yeah, I have one. I have
Wow.
the wheel, the Mickey's Fun Wheel. I have
Oh,
that one maxed, and I'm wait like Mickey's house is at 4, but I only have 2 of that most sought after
the legendary
the
blueprint.
legendary. Yeah. Oh gosh. It's tricky. So what I find is interesting. When I do buy a chest, if I get a lot of times, it's only happened like a few times that it hasn't happened. But if I get one of the special, you know how they give you your normal amount and then they say, oh, a special bonus, you get this. It usually shows me a rare, or sometimes it will alternate rare and legendary. And that's how I've gotten enough legendaries. And then I've 2 sitting there right now. But it's been it's very rare that I get the legendary option to come up. So I think I'm just going to have to be perfectly happy with level 4s across the board. And the legendary they're just so hard to get.
Yeah.
But you know what? Who cares? As long as I'm working on it at a pace, I think we're good. And I think like they just added for Coco, you need to be at level 1 in oh gosh, I'm having a brain cramp in the attraction that's out.
Hmm.
Um I keep the stand. The Cecilia Market Shop. You need to be at level 1 to get something to drop. I don't remember what it is, but I
It's
went ahead and did
yeah.
that because I bought that little bundle that they offered. And I got everything I needed in that to be able to level it, but I haven't done anything else
Yeah.
to it.
That's the Mama Imelda's ears that drop
Okay, perfect.
from that.
Thank you.
Yep. So okay, cool. So that's a nice little chat on the building upgrades. I think that's good. But obviously, everyone who's listening and watching, you have to do it. Everyone. That's the one interesting thing about this is everyone's going to do it differently. There's no right or wrong
Totally.
way, depending on where
Yep.
you're at. All right,
Right.
moving along. Leveling. Excuse me. For this week, once the event started and we got the safe to level list, we posted that quickly on our Facebook page.
Nice.
Thank you, Allison, for taking care of that. You are our official safe to level list person, so I appreciate that. I leveled a few characters that were low level, and I knew I could easily collect their tokens in the few days before Chapter 2 would begin, which is actually we had about a week.
Mhm.
So, I had some people that were low, like Pascal, for example, Prince Charming, one of the hyenas. So I just
Mhm.
kind of had them going because the time to level them was low. So I knew that they wouldn't really conflict with when I needed to level up one of the event characters. And I
Right.
knew I'd be able to collect their tokens in enough time. Um,
Mhm.
I did make a switch about 2 days ago though, and I started leveling up 24-hour characters because I knew that I was kind of at where I was going to need to be for my Coco characters, or I was still collecting for
Mhm.
them,
Right.
and I didn't want to start introducing new tokens to what I was collecting because for the fear of conflicts.
Sure.
So that's that. And then finally, my lifetime visitors board. I'm down to 58,245 is my rank. I've broken into the top 60,000. Yes,
Nice.
top
That's
60,000.
impressive.
Yes, it's been a long time coming. The top 50,000 is my next milestone, and we will celebrate
Yay!
with a midnight show. No, we won't do that.
Right.
Okay, so that's it. So now we're gonna go. We have Amy. Do you have a newcomer tip of the week?
On the event or just in general?
Yeah, just something maybe event related to help someone that's new to the game and that might help them with the event a little bit.
So, can you tell I just got the notes and I haven't had time, but I think, probably with those guitars, I'm not sure if everyone is at the point where you have to collect the 10 guitars
Mm-hmm.
for
Hector.
Hector, thank you. He's the character that we're working on pieces of him at a time. I'm sure you'll go over it in a bit.
Yep.
But those guitars. So I've had some people say, "Do I just stop everything I'm doing and collect have the three characters?" Um, Gosh, I hold on, I got to get my notes because I'm not remembering anything. It's been a long day at work. So Ernesto collects it, Dante collects it, and Miguel collects the guitars for right now. And so I've had people say, so I have a task for Ernesto and for him to two quests for him to collect the guitars and then keep going, even though it's a side quest. They're like, what do I do? So I personally stopped all other quests, side quests, and just sent the three of them out to get the guitars.
Yep.
So that's what I personally do. And now that I've got the guitars, now I will go on and finish up all the rest of the quests until I'm ready to welcome on Friday. So that's probably my tip is to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes perfect sense. You want to make sure that you're doing your event quests over side quests.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's imperative. You have only a certain amount of time, so do what you can and get it done. Thank you, Amy. That was
you're
really,
welcome.
really good stuff. At very last minute, for everyone listening, I asked Amy to be on this show about 2 hours before the show started. So, Amy, thank you so much for being here. And
you're welcome. I was sitting at work
and winging it with me because this is a wing it show.
Right.
All right. Let's move into some show news before we get into the game news here. We do have a contest. I mentioned it last week that we were going to get it up. We have a contest up on our Facebook page now. It is live.
Nice.
We are giving away 2 $10 gift cards to the platform of your choosing that you play Disney Magic Kingdoms on. So if you're an iTunes person, you get an iTunes gift card, etc. So that's nice because, hey, you can get a nice bundle during the event or something. So we're giving away 2 $10 gift cards. All you have to do is go to our Facebook page, click on the giveaway tab, and there is a raffle copter giveaway where you can go get entries into the contest by doing various things on social media, like visiting our Facebook page and tweeting on Twitter, and just various different things. So go ahead and get your entries in, and the contest ends on Halloween. So I'll be doing the drawing on Halloween. So will you get a trick or a treat?
Ooh.
All right.
Let's see.
So let's go check it out if you haven't. All right, let's move on into game news. Again, we're going to talk about some things before we get into the event itself. There are two big things to talk about. The first thing is that we found something interesting last week when the game updated. We were no longer collecting the hundreds of tokens for the buildings that we had to enchant. So, as you know, when buildings became enchantable, you suddenly started to have to collect common tokens for them. It started with Toy Story, Mickey and Friends, and then it was, everything since then. And suddenly we were, because we were having actually a conversation about it right before the patch dropped, and after the patch dropped, we noticed, we all stopped at the same time. And we were like, is that a bug? What's going on? So the way that it would work is you would collect enough common tokens for the buildings until you'd collected enough to enchant everything to the max level. This changed during the update, so you'd only collect enough to have the current level enchanted. And then when you do enchant a building, you'd then have to collect however many common tokens you would need to get it to the next level. We have confirmed this is not a bug and is intended. Disney Magic Kingdoms did update their patch notes to reflect this as a change. For the people, aka all of us here, who had a lot of common tokens collected already for the various buildings, you will not lose them. It will just take away from what you have already, but you will not collect any longer for those, and you will not collect additional ones for new things released. So just a little change to the way that is. There was a lot of discussion going back and forth. Some people thought that they liked it to just get it out of the way and be like, all right, fine, I need 1,000 tokens. Let's just keep sending people out and sending people out and sending people out until I get them. But then other people had the thought, including myself, that it's almost like burnout, right? Like you're just sending the same people out over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And it's just frustrating, 66, and when you want to be doing other stuff, you just keep sending them out. I almost felt like I was getting like burnout, just from doing that. So I feel like I would like it better to like, you just collect enough for what you need. When you enchant a building and you need 25 more, then you just send your guys out for 25, which doesn't take all that long. Then you put them away again. You know what I mean? So what's your thoughts, Amy? How would you rather handle the collecting of tokens?
So, because I'm a little bit OCD, I collected all of the red Mickey balloons, and it was overload. I felt like I was playing the game way too much, every 60 minutes tapping. So it was a little overload. So I personally like it now. So Dumbo, I collected the tokens for Dumbo, put the mouse and the ringmaster back away, and Dumbo. I keep him at home, especially Timothy, because he helps with happiness. So I don't want to be using him on a task accidentally and need him. So I put them all at home, and then I pulled them out. I pulled Timothy out because he was going to collect happiness for me, and I was like, oh wait, they can be collecting that drop again, and so
Sure.
I pulled them out, put them out. So I like it. It doesn't give you that overload of, oh my gosh, I've been collecting for 4 days and I still can collect. How much longer is there? It's kind of stressful, I think, for some players. I think there's some out there like me. So I think it's great. I like the change because now, yes, I have to realize, did I just level Dumbo? I did. Oh, they're going to collect common tokens. And so you do need to pay attention to that. But I'm glad to not be collecting for weeks on end like I did with Mickey. So
Yes.
it's nice.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
I
it's great.
couldn't agree more. I have the same feeling because it doesn't feel bad. It's like when you have a character, you level a character
Right.
and then suddenly you need to start collecting common tokens to get to the next level, but it doesn't feel overwhelming.
Right.
You need 50 of them, right? So you collect 50 of
Right.
them. It takes you a day or two, but then you're done.
Yeah,
And
totally.
then, so I just like it. I think this is a good change.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
okay.
Definitely like it.
All right, so let's get into the hot topic. This is the
Yay!
hot topic of the week. So we're going to talk about the other character that was not mentioned, but not mentioned and not discussed on the live stream, which we determined through various things, and then when the patch came out, it was confirmed that the bride from the Haunted Mansion
Yes.
will be joining the kingdom.
Yay, yes.
Everyone was very excited. This is a character that really had a lot of hype behind her, like I haven't seen in a long time. People are excited to get Coco characters. People are excited to get,
Right.
Different things. But the bride was something different.
Totally.
A totally different type of character and very exciting.
You know what it is? We're all dying to have a bride who hatchets her husband walking around the kingdom. Yay!
Okay, you made a dad joke. You said we're all dying. We're all dying.
Oh gosh, and I didn't even get that.
Yes, mom joke.
It's a good thing you've got my back. Thank you. But yes, super exciting. So okay, now I'll let you go on.
Yeah. So everyone was really excited. So
Yes.
the idea that I think most people had was there was going to be some sort of Halloween event that you would need to do, whether it was leaderboard or battle bots or battle pumpkins or whatever it was going to be. That was going to be the way that you collected the bride.
Right.
So that is not the case. Someone had discovered that there was some information that came out, and I forgot where it was. I don't remember. It was on a frequently asked questions thing that was listed.
Yeah. So if you go it really quickly, I'll show you just because they do this often. If you go into your game and go to your blue lines up at the top, go into customer care, and then go into the FAQs.
Right.
It's right in there.
Yeah. So there was a couple of things in there. Like there's also like bunnies that are going to be popping up as like tappers in the game. You know, like, so there was
Mm-hmm.
interesting stuff that doesn't come
Yeah.
out in patch notes. It doesn't come out to in like a note to the community. It's just kind of hidden in the
Right.
frequently asked questions, which is
Mhm.
weird because these questions aren't frequently asked because we don't know about them.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting the way that this content's put out. But anyway, people caught wind of this, and what they
Hmm.
caught wind of is that the bride is going to be available in a way that is going to be frustrating to a lot of players. And so here's there was a lot of discussion of what was going to be happening. So here is the information that was provided by Gameloft to the community indirectly, but directly it is from them.
Yep.
So
Yep.
here is the information. The way that the bride will be available is that there will be sapphire chests available during this event. This is not the same sapphire chest that people were getting for the past few years on the 25th of December as their calendar reward. That sapphire chest contained premium characters, and premium attractions that you did not have. And you
Hmm.
could get one of those. You guaranteed to get one of those in there. It was a December 25th present from
Right.
Disney Magic Kingdoms. These sapphire chests will be different. The sapphire chests will be available to purchase in the shop for 100 gems each. And there will be no daily limit for how many you can purchase. In the chests, there will be various items. The various items will include different levels of elixir. So I believe they'll be different. There's what I was told was 3 different bundles of elixir. So my guess is there's gonna be like a common, uncommon, and rare amount of elixir, or maybe uncommon, rare, and an epic. I believe there will be concession stands. That's not confirmed, at least from my understanding, but I've heard it mentioned.
Hmm.
And so that's what will be in there. And then there will also be at the epic and legendary level, there will be the Disney villains that you do not have.
Hmm.
So every storyline for the most part has a Disney villain. So they will be available in these chests. And the bride will be available in these chests. This is the only way to get her. She
Yep.
will be a legendary rarity. So um, so let's just talk about that. So if you think about how legendaries work, is that basically you roll the dice, and if you get a legendary, then it chooses one of those random legendaries. So that being said, if you have other Disney villains that you don't have, you're going to be competing. You first have to get legendary, and then you're going to be
Yep.
competing with other legendary characters that are not time limited. For the most part, you can get them in other ways.
Hmm.
But even if you have every Disney villain, like I do, and I'm sure Amy does, and lots of you
Hmm.
out there,
Yep.
the probability of getting a legendary item in a chest is difficult. Usually it's
Yeah.
5% or less.
Yep.
So these chests are 100 gems each. You can't buy them with money. And you can't. There's no bundle that will give you like a guaranteed legendary. Like when you buy legendary chests, you for different storylines you get a guaranteed epic or legendary when you buy a
Hmm.
bundle. There is none that you cannot do that with these gems. So it's 100 gems a pop. Take your shot. Try to get the bride. So Amy, I'm gonna kick it over to you for some thoughts. Anything you want to add to this, and some thoughts. What's your? Let's talk about the bride.
So, I think that I think it's unfortunate that they're making it be 100 gems for those people who do not buy gems or spend money on the game. I think that it's going to make it pretty much impossible for them to get it, which I think is too bad. I like it when there's some way that you might be able to get it. Um, I think that making it legendary is going to be tricky. I think that there's going to be a lot of people who are going to spend and spend and spend. So it ends up being about, depending on what gem pack you usually buy or you buy, it's about $5. So Um, yeah, it I don't really like the way they're doing this. It's not as bad as Grumpy, except some people have said, well, but at least Grumpy, you were getting tokens that were each time that were accumulating. Whereas this, you might be getting a concession stand uh, each time for 100 gems. Are they serious? So I know on my page I have a frustrations post which I send those to DMK as I'm going, just as a hey, did you see this? Because this is what your people are saying, and they're not happy, or oh my gosh, your people are thrilled. And do they listen to it? I don't know, but I do it because I think it's important for us to get everyone's, because not everyone's gonna. Some people are like, I'm not gonna contact them. It's fine, but DMK needs to know because we're the players. So I just hope that even though it's legendary rarity, that it's not quite as hard.
Yeah.
So
So here's the thing. I needed a stupid hat stand from Dumbo. My daughter really wanted it.
mhm. It's
And
cute.
and I spent a lot of money because it
Right.
just didn't drop for me. It just
Oh.
didn't drop.
Mhm.
I spent a lot of money. I got it, but I didn't feel good
Right.
afterwards. Like if I would have got it normally, because it was, I think, epic rarity.
Hmm.
It was the only epic thing that I had in the chest, but I still had to spend like $30 to get
Right.
it. Where there was no bundle where I could have
Right.
spent $9.99 and gotten that guaranteed epic, right? I would have done that in a
Right.
heartbeat, gotten it, had
Totally.
the time done, right?
Yes.
So that was frustrating. Um,
Hmm.
Grumpy, what I heard was at least the chests weren't that expensive. I thought the chests were like 20,
Yeah.
25 gems.
Yeah. They
Um,
weren't. They were not that as
right. So,
expensive.
but it was still bad, and I wasn't around for that.
Right. Right.
So being at where I'm at, which is endgame, right? I have no more
Hmm.
kingdom quests. I have every character in the game, just about. I don't have the ringmaster yet. Um, so I have a little over 1,000 gems accumulated,
Hmm.
and I know now that I'm going to need 300 to welcome the next premium character.
Right.
I'm going to need, I think it's 150 for the premium attraction that's going to be coming out, because
Yes.
I'm trying
Right.
not to spend money on this event. So
Hmm.
that's 450 gems right there that I'm going to need, which leaves me with about 500 gems.
Right.
And with a 5% chance of getting a drop, it it I'm not going to gamble my 500 gems. I don't think I'm going to. I don't want to put a statement in stone, but it's a lot of gems to gamble on
Right.
when you can get like nothing. You know, if you can get just a
Hmm.
concession stand, that feels bad for 100 gems. You know,
Right.
because you can buy the ones you specifically want in the shop for 60 gems when they're available.
Hmm.
I think that if there was just Disney villains or characters or something of that nature,
Hmm.
um, I think you're looking at a different situation. But this is really, really hard. I mean, it's just not it's not feasible for someone. So what you're saying, 100 gems
Right.
is about $5. That's what
Right.
that's $5 a shot. You know,
Yep.
that's a lot of money to spend on something that you have a 5% chance of getting. So
Right.
technically, you would have to buy. You know, if you have a 5% chance every time, I guess 20. Your probability is 1 in 20.
Right.
But here's the thing about it too. So 20. So you have to buy 20 to get it as an average. Okay,
Right.
so that's $100.
Well, and that's if the average if it works out.
Right, if it works out. So
What if it doesn't?
here's what I want. What I was going to mention is I like to do a comparison to Hearthstone, because it's another game that I play that has a lot of
Okay.
development behind it. And the way that they work is when you open up a pack, right? It's like chests
Hmm.
or a pack or whatever. You start out with a chance of getting a legendary minion, a small chance, right?
Hmm.
And every time you get a pack that doesn't have one, your probability of getting a legendary minion goes up a little bit
Oh, okay.
until at 40 packs, you're guaranteed a legendary. So,
Ooh,
so,
nice.
so you'll never go more than 40 packs without with it. So, but now when you think about it, as your probability increases and increases, really the average for getting a legendary is 1 in 20 because you're opening a lot of packs and your probability goes up. So you start out at 10%, then you have a 20% chance, then a 30% chance. So your chance goes up every time.
Hmm.
So it works out well.
Hmm.
And eventually, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You will get that
Right.
legendary eventually.
Right.
But here, you're not getting that. You don't have the guarantee that you're gonna go anywhere. And really,
Right.
like with me, I spent a lot of money on that Dumbo chest, and if you were to look at it and do a price comparison, I probably would have spent well over $120 if it was 100 gems a chest. So
Right.
this is, I think, a really, really bad move. It's going to make people just feel bad. Um,
Hmm.
there will be people out there that get the bride, um, that either just get lucky and hit it first time, and they should go play the
Hmm.
lottery. Or there's going to
Right.
be people out there that are hardcore players that spend a lot of money,
Hmm.
and feel bad. You know,
Right. Yeah, it's
just
almost a bitter
a,
feeling.
right. And like I didn't feel good when I got that stand. I felt relieved that it was over.
Right. Right.
So you know, I, I just I can't really go on anymore, about this because I'm just going to keep reiterating myself. But
Hmm.
this is not well perceived with the community. I don't see. I don't have yet to run into a person that said this is a fantastic idea.
Right.
Not one. And I deal with a lot of people and a lot of groups. So I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the all I could think of is that the last time that when they had battle bots round one, and everyone complained about how terrible it was, to get
Hmm.
the Animation Academy. They eventually released the Animation Academy in another round of battle bots that was much easier to obtain.
Right.
My hope is that they will re-release the bride in another way, that she'll be obtainable, um, because
Hmm.
it's going to be very hard. I mean, like I said, I can't see myself trying to just throw away 500 gems to try to get this character when
Right.
500 gems can get me in the next event. Like if the next event's a tower challenge, which it's going to be, it's going to be the Frozen Tower Challenge.
Right.
There might be a premium character as part of that
Hmm.
tower challenge. I don't want to throw away a guaranteed premium character that's going to help me collect Coco for a tower challenge
Right.
for a shot at a bunch of concession stands. It's just
Yeah.
I have to weigh my options. So
Right.
that is what I have to say about that. Do you have anything else you want to say? Comment?
No, you pretty much it's I it's going to be very frustrating for a lot of people, which I just think is too bad. I get it. Life isn't always fair, but I hate to have a game be what makes you that frustrated when it didn't have to be like that. So, yeah, I hopefully they release it again, make it a little easier, a little more obtainable. You're not spending tons. So, but they'll live
Just
and
just
learn.
just a side note to that though. I just want to say that if someone goes and spends $100 and gets the
Mm-hmm.
bride, and then 3 months later they re-release her in another way that's easy to obtain,
Ooh, yes.
that that would be frustrating.
So, can I tell you, Grumpy? I probably spent $100 on Grumpy, which wasn't bad at all. That was cheap. To some people were spending a lot more. So I got lucky. I spent 100 on him. And now if I see someone, oh my gosh, I just got a chest and I got Grumpy, yay! I'm like, mm, okay,
Yeah.
I'm happy for you, but that sucks. Thanks, Game Off. So it is. And now the only time I have Grumpy out is when he is needed to get a token because I just am a little bitter about him.
Yeah. I
So,
I opened Grumpy in my first legendary chest.
oh, nice.
Very
Oh
first
my
one.
gosh.
My first six pack of my first
That's
chest. I got
great.
him, and then I showed someone, and they said, "Do you know
Oh my gosh.
what happened? Do you know about Grumpy?" I was like, "No, I know he's legendary." And then the conversation began. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I did get that, but it also cost me $35 to get a Dumbo hat stand. So
Right. Dang it. Which I got right away. So darn it.
we gotta swap out.
Yeah.
You'll get my hat stands. I'll get your characters. But okay,
Great. That works.
that's the end of the bride. And so that's all we'll say about that. Um, there's lots of comments in the chat about it. So,
I'm sure. Yeah.
someone, Matt Rodriguez says, thoughts on if she will be added to the Christmas sapphire chests? I don't know. See, in the sapphire chests,
Yeah.
the content that was in there were things that you could buy directly in the game with gems.
Hmm.
So the premium characters that you could buy that were just there, the attractions you could buy that were there, but she's a limited time character, so I don't think that they would be there. So, all right, let's move on. It's late, so let's just keep going. All right, so now we're 45 minutes in, and now we're going to start talking about Coco. All right, so the Coco event started on October 17th, which was last Thursday. So there's quite a few bundles that are available. So the first thing that was available right away was the Dante bundle for $3.99. It included tokens to get him to level 2. He was also available for purchase for, I believe it was 200 gems. I bought him with gems. Did you buy the bundle?
I did. Yeah, the 3.99.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Got him right to 2. Let him start collecting.
Yep.
Also, Alice in Wonderland Legendary Chests became available. $9.99 for a 6-pack, or I think it's 60 gems for one. So those are out there. I assume that you don't need anything from those.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, so I mean, the only thing I needed was the float, and I got it, which was awesome. I
Yay.
wouldn't have bought the legendary chest for a float though. I don't need it. So but I'm glad I got it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
totally.
big advantage to Alice in Wonderland legendary chests besides just getting them is that they are helpers for this event. Additionally, they will be collecting gold trophies for the near future. All right, then. So the second day, this is the second time they did this. The parade bundle wasn't available on the first day. So
Right.
day 2, they released the parade bundle. The parade bundle was $1.99. And included 2 magical chests and 20 gems. You could also buy the parade float for 50 gems in the shop. Did you buy the bundle?
I bought the bundle.
Bought the bundle. And get anything good in your
Yay.
chests?
Um, Nothing memorable.
Yeah, nothing memorable. I again spent gems. So there we
That
go.
works.
Yep, I just tried to. I have my gems. I'm just trying to use them for guaranteed things that I can
Right.
get. So,
Yeah.
also the regular EC bundle is available. It's 80 gems
Hmm.
and 2,500 EC for $3.99. So, yeah, you couldn't even purchase one one pride chest with that.
Right.
So, did you buy an EC bundle?
I did.
You did.
Yep.
You're bundle mania going
I
on.
know, right?
Okay.
I am. I did it more to see how if it was going to be unlimited. Sometimes some things, not usually those, are limited. So I just wanted to see how many you could buy. So I bought one and it was still available. So I said, okay, that's fine. I didn't need more, so I didn't buy more.
Okay. All right. The now also later on, after you built the first attraction, an enchantment bundle became available. It's the typical enchantment
Yes,
bundle that they have, which is 20 common blueprints, 10 Coco relics, 10 musical posters, and 20 gems for $3.99. And you said you got that too, right?
I did.
Yes.
Yes.
I did not. I'm holding off. I bought the enchantment bundles the last go around for the Nemo event.
Hmm.
Um, and it was beneficial, but I'm going to try to hold off this time.
Sure. That works. It's nice that it just kind of sits there in your bundles and waits for you to buy it or not, or
Yeah.
um, whatever.
Yeah. So we'll see. There also is a spooky sale to celebrate Halloween time.
Ooh.
The attraction enchantment chests are on sale. A 3-pack is down to 120 gems from 150 gems. So it's a good time to stock up on those relics, like Amy was talking about earlier in the day. And magical chests are in the shop. They are the chests that have tokens and relics all related to this Coco event. And there are 20 gems each. You can get one a day, or 99 cents for a 3-pack. That's interesting. To get $1 for 3. So that's pretty cool. Have you bought any magical chests?
I did that one, the 99-cent one, and then I bought one or two of them, and I got relics. So I mean, it was a good thing, and I've gotten tokens that that were able to help me to level. So it's been fine.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I probably won't continue to buy them until maybe Imelda or someone's tokens aren't dropping. Then hopefully I'll get one. But I think it's great that it's offered.
Yeah. No, I like it. I think it's good. I think it's a
Mm.
good. I think it's a good price.
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
I feel like they were more expensive previously.
Hmm.
So I don't remember exactly, but I feel like that's a really good price. So.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
all right, so let's get into just what happened during the event, week 1. We are at the tail end of week 1. So the first thing you did was to welcome Miguel. And what I didn't know is you could actually, so you had to collect tokens for him, but you actually could have just welcomed him for 20 gems if you wanted to just skip collecting the tokens for him. So you welcomed Miguel, took 6 minutes, and then you started the storyline. You want to tell us a little? Have you been following the storyline, Amy?
I have not.
Okay.
I've been clicking through, so I'm sorry. Oh,
No,
I
no,
just let people down.
no. Listen, almost everyone I know clicks through. I actually was interested in the storyline this time. It's very
Oh,
cool.
cool.
It is about Miguel wanting to put on a show,
Mhm.
and so that's why you see the stage is a stage
Right.
for this event. And it looks like the goal for this event is going to be like to put on a show, as opposed to
Very cool.
like fighting a boss or something like that.
Oh,
Which is a
yeah.
totally different twist on the event. It's a
Right.
nice change, and of course, Ernesto de la Cruz wants to
Mhm.
not have you put on a show, so he's going to try his hardest to make sure that Miguel does not do that.
Right.
So it's cool. You welcome Miguel, get him to level 2, and then the
Mhm.
next day, day 2, when there was the second unlocking, Ernesto de la Cruz becomes available. 60-minute welcome. Then he has a quest as well. And then at
Right.
that point, you build the Santa Cecilia Market Shop. It's a 6-hour build and costs 3,000 EC and required Miguel to be at level 3.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a cool shop. I love all of the the artwork and the time that went into all of the attractions for this event.
Right.
They did an amazing job.
Hmm. I agree.
So yeah, so there was that build. At that point, there's more and more story. There's lots and lots of storyline, lots and lots of quests. And then eventually, Miguel says, I want to start collecting guitars because we need lots of
Hmm.
instruments if we're going to put on a show. So you start collecting guitars, and that is for Hector.
Hmm.
As in previous events, you are going to need to, at various times, collect tokens to unlock a character. So this is the first token for Hector, which is the guitars. You can collect them throughout the rest of the event.
Hmm.
There's that. And then once you finish all that, you'll be at Welcoming Mama Imelda, which unlocks on Friday at Rope Drop.
Yay.
So that is what's coming up. We're a day and a half away from that, and then you'll be welcoming her. At some point, you'll be building the Land of the Dead. There'll also be a premium attraction that will be available. You'll
Yep.
also have a premium character that will be available, which I can't think of off the top of my head because it's really late. Who's the next gem character? Do you remember?
Abuelita comes in at some point. Let's see. We've
Yes.
got our. Oh, the gem is that's Abuelita, isn't it?
Yes, that's it.
And
Because
yeah, with the
because
pink apron.
right because there's Abuelita, but then there's Mama Coco who's not gem. There's Madame
Yeah.
Imelda who's not gem.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Abuelita is not. It's Oh, the name's escape. Who's that one? That's the one that's gem. Is that Mama Coco?
Mama Coco
Mm,
gems.
is it Abuelita's the one with the pink apron? Hold on. Sorry, I have it listed here somewhere. I've got so many DMK pictures on my phone. I thought, isn't Abuelita the one with the apron?
I don't know. It's
Hmm.
almost midnight my time. I don't know who anyone is right now.
I know. I'm so sorry. Okay, I will look for someone's over there typing. It's this person,
Yes.
and
So
we thank you.
we'll figure it out. Someone's coming with gems. There's a gem thing. There's an attraction. So we will
Yeah.
get them. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
As we mentioned before, there's new concession stands that are earned through
Mhm.
concession chests. I have yet to find a concession chest in the flippin' kingdom, so I have not gotten the hot chocolate stand or Ernesto's hat stand. Have you been able to acquire either of the concessions yet?
Yes, one of them I got in some award from somewhere. Just I don't even know it. It just said I showed up with a little exclamation mark that I had it. I was like, oh, okay, all right, I guess I have it. And then the other one, I did find one decorations chest. I haven't seen any more decorations chests in the land. So, yeah. And then, okay, so real quickly, can I go back? It's Mama Coco, who is 300 gems, we're assuming.
Oh, Mama Coco
So,
is okay.
yep,
That's
yeah.
all right. Thank you. And the chat is saying confirming Mama Coco. I for some reason thought she'd be more late game. So okay,
All
cool.
right, yeah,
So we'll get Mama
nice.
Coco. She'll be going around and collecting stuff. So we'll be excited about that.
Perfect.
All right. So that's where we're at. That's week one of the event. What?
Yay.
Let's kind of wrap it up. What do you think about the event so far? As far as the characters, I'd ask you about the storyline, but you don't know. Um,
Ah,
and
epic fail.
So, what do you think of the characters, the pacing? What's your kind of
So
wrap up of chapter one?
I am loving it. I love how the tokens are dropping. The guitars, for me, it was about I'd send out three, two would drop, which was fine. So, it was a little less droppy for me, whereas everything else has been dropping perfectly fine. And maybe one thing doesn't drop a day, so the drops are perfect. But I love it. I love the colorful, and then I think it's great. I love the marketplace or market shop is so cute. It's so in depth. It's excellent. I love
Yeah,
it.
awesome. Yeah, I agree.
Um,
I love the artwork. I think the artwork's great. I
mhm.
think Miguel's um, welcome screen is one of my favorites, where he
Oh,
just hits the guitar and like you can see the land of the dead. It's just really well done.
yeah.
Everything is the artwork's fantastic. The
Mhm.
storyline is really cool. It's
I'm gonna have to start reading it.
it's just the fact that I love the movie Coco, but I think it's cool that they're changing up the end of the event to be
Hmm.
something cool instead of just another fight the boss, fight the virus, fight the
Totally.
this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then save someone because they're stuck somewhere. So
Right.
I really like how they're doing it. I like everything. I think this is a really good
Yeah.
event so far. I feel like the pacing is
Hmm.
good. Um, I don't see anyone complaining about the event. So,
Right. Me
um,
either. Yeah,
all
it's
right.
been great.
All right. There were two events during the week. The first one that started was the all too familiar number 4. This started on the 18th of October and
Mhm.
ended on the 20th. It was a 2-day event. There were hidden crows throughout the event that spawned in groups of 10 every 4 hours. You could get a total of 120 during this event. The interesting thing about this is the rewards. The rewards
Right.
were EC of various levels going down, so anywhere from 2,000 all the way down to 300. But the main prize was happiness.
Yay!
50
Which was
happiness.
right.
45, 40, 30, 20. what do you think about happiness as a reward?
So at first, I thought, okay, I'm always at high joyous anyways. So I was like, that's kind of dumb for me, for someone who doesn't, who plays a lot. It's like, all right, I'm already plenty happiness. I don't need that. However, so I kind of played this one. If I see them, I tap them. If I don't, I don't. So I got about probably 8 or 9 every 4 hours. So I was a little off. I wasn't in the top, 10 or anything. But the morning that it ended, I had gone to bed at like 8 p.m. So I had 12 hours without collecting. I was down to 99% of the other level. So I was like, oh no, I got to get to Joyous quick. And so thankfully then I must have woke up like right before 8 because then it popped up and said, oh, you get enough wish or happiness. So I was then, by the time I was done collecting that, I was back up to 99%. So for me, it turned out really good. For people who don't care if they have happiness, which I think is too bad. I'm sure they thought, oh, this is kind of dumb, but I thought it was good.
Yeah. I mean,
What were your thoughts?
sure. I mean, it's nice. It was a nice boost. It brings you back up
Mm-hmm.
to 99 for people like us. I think that the point that a lot of people were making was that it was really good for newer players to really give them a big boost to help get them past some levels that they might not have been, to kind of move them into a next bracket. I
Yes,
agree, because the rewards went down, and they were still pretty decent at the bottom of the ladder. Um,
totally.
so it was cool, but nothing that I stressed myself out over, because I
Right.
knew that even with 10 or 20 happiness, it would be more than sufficient for what I needed. So, like you said,
Totally.
like if I saw crows, I tapped them, but I wasn't sitting there like other tapper events, looking
Right.
behind every building, trying to
Right.
find stuff. So, um,
Right.
yeah, so it was kind of a lower key
Yeah,
version.
it was nice.
The other event that we had was Wish Granter, which started on the 21st. This is Wish Granter number 38. It's the 38th time we've had this in the game. 21st of October, ended on the 23rd of October, which was today.
Yep.
The leaderboards were gems and magical chests. And the magical chests were significant. There were a lot of magical chests. Five,
Right.
4, 3, 2, 1. So getting her higher on the leaderboard was definitely worth it. I had been
Mhm.
saying in the past few events that like they were giving like 2 magical chests for like the top prize, and like 1 magical chest for everyone from like 51 to 3,000. So it was like there wasn't a whole lot of motivation to like really try super hard. But this one, with the amount of chests that they were giving, and the difference between 52 and 3,000, for example, I felt like it was worth playing. I
Mhm.
did. I wound up in the second tier, which was the 20 gems and the 4 chests. I did not get a single Coco relic, um, so it kind of stinks for that. But I think it was a good event.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was great. Gave lots of magical chests for those who didn't want to spend or don't spend, the gems. For 20 gems each, and you got 5 of them. So I think it was good.
Yeah,
I'm very happy with it.
very much agree. Good event there. Okay, so let's see what else we got going on. So that is pretty much it for the events and all that stuff. It is now time for the Disney Dad Joke of the Week.
Nice.
Well, so keeping in line with our favorite character that we discussed today, what is Grumpy's favorite fruit?
Mm, no idea.
Sour grapes.
That makes sense.
Wah,
Yep, that's good.
wah.
That's good.
Yeah, everyone. I just heard a collective groan of all the listeners and watchers right now.
You did. I hope I did mine silently.
You did.
No, I'm kidding.
All right, so it's really late, so we're not going to do Is It Worth It this week. we'd like to hear from you. What as we discussed, we're open to revisiting things now that times have changed. It's been over a year since we've done some Is It Worth It things. So if you want to see something revisited on Is It Worth It, make sure you make a Facebook post or a tweet or something so I can write it down and put it into next week's show or an upcoming show. All right. Feature report. Feature report. Feature report. Feature report is a segment where we talk about one idea or feature we'd like to see implemented into the game. So we have one this week. It's from Ryan.
Yay!
Ryan says he has a thought about a feature report concerning events. Seeing as they have capped how many common tokens that characters can collect, it would be nice to add additional tappers based on how many characters from the event have been unlocked. For example, during week 1, when we have the first 3 characters and they're unlocked, stay at 5 tappers every 2 hours. So just like now, we can, collect 5 every 2 hours to get those, common tokens for the event. During week 2, you could switch it to have a total of 10 tappers that can collect the tokens, but change the timer to every 3 hours. This way, it still adds a different level of difficulty. During week 3, the tappers could be set at 20, but then have a 4-hour spawn time. Another idea could be they could just go ahead and let us collect the token at the beginning of the event from the 60-minute quest and parade float. So really, it's just changing the way that they do the tappers. So I kind of get it because every event kind of has the same format, right? We look at the events and we like to see the format change, because that keeps things fresh. But we know every event, so we're having a 2-hour common token, 5 tappers. So this changes things up. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I think it would be very confusing to newer players, and I think they're the ones that really need those tappers. But I mean, we get stuff out, we post it so they could read it. They would quickly get it. I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's nice to switch things up.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
But I agree with you. I didn't really think about that until you mentioned David, but I do think that would be very confusing to newer players. One of the things that we used to always say on the show, and I'll reiterate now, is that events can be completed by just about anyone if you work hard at it. Connie used to still says this, I'm sure, all the time in her group. And it's like, tower challenges you're not going to beat as a newer player. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
But events, if you work hard, you can really complete the event. But starting to change stuff up and have different characters at different timers will make it really hard for newer players. So I don't know. I mean, there's also it would be interesting, here's my feature report kind of piggybacking off that. It would be interesting if, based on your level and number of characters, that they had different levels of difficulty in the game, right? Like when you start the game, you're playing on easy difficulty. And as you progress, you move to normal and then hard and then expert, right? And as you move up in difficulty, different things happen. Maybe the number of tokens you need or something in an event are greater than the number that someone else would need at an easier difficulty, So kind of have difficulty levels to kind of balance things out. That's kind of an interesting idea too.
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
Yeah. Words of wisdom from Amy. Thank you.
Oh gosh, right?
Yes.
No, it's an interesting idea.
I'm just teasing. I agree.
For those people who really like a challenge, that would be great for them. Yeah, I'm good with the way it is, but whatever. I'll do whatever. Just tell me what to do. I'll do it.
Okay. Come on my show. You're like, okay, I'm coming on the show.
No worries, I'm there. What time do I show up?
All right, well, it's 3 minutes to midnight, and I don't want to turn into a pumpkin, so we're going to wrap up the show here. We've covered everything. No new 5-star ratings or reviews this week, so please make sure you get around to that. Amy, any quick shout outs before we end the show?
Thank you for everyone being here. It's so nice to see you. I can't wait to now go back and read comments because it's only 9 o'clock here. I got time. And again, thank you so much for thinking of me and having me join you. It's always so much fun.
Awesome. I'm going to give a big shout out to my bed. Can't wait to see you. Next week's show, we'll talk about Coco Chapter 2 and anything that comes up. Next week will be the 30th. It will be or sometime around there. So it will be right around Halloween time. So we'll probably have a lot more information on the bride, which everyone will be very curious to see. So if you get the bride and you open her up in a chest, we'd love to see it. You can celebrate with us as we cry to ourselves in the corner. So that'll be next week. I don't know who next week's guest is going to be. I might just ask them 10 minutes before the show. We will see. All right, wrapping up. If you want to be more involved with the show, you can follow us on Twitter at ATK Podcast or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/ATK Podcast. Here you'll find out before anyone else about any breaking news that we hear, information on contests and giveaways, when new shows are published, and of course my ramblings and photos from my day-to-day playing. The show's Facebook group is up, and it's a great way to easily interact with me and the other fans of the show to talk about our favorite game. The link will be in our show notes and can also be found on the show's main Facebook page. Also, you can write into the show. Our email address is aroundthekingdompodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think, what's working, what's terrible, or any other topic you want to write in about. Or just write in if you want to say hi. We are now on YouTube. We've been on YouTube for a while. I need to change this.
Nice.
If you want to watch the show and see me and my awesome guests, head on over, subscribe to our channel, like the video, and smash the bell to get notified when a new show goes live. The link to our channel will be in the show notes. Don't forget to join our Discord channel and chat with us. If you want to help support the show, head on over to iTunes, subscribe to the podcast, and leave us a 5-star review. Doing this is quick and easy, it costs you nothing, but helps us greatly to be seen by other people so they can enjoy the show also. All 5-star reviews will be read at the end of each episode. Listening to the show is all we could really ask for, but if you do want to help support us in another way, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. This is a great way to show your support for the show for about $1 an episode. All Patreons will get a special shout out at the beginning of each episode. Again, it's patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. The link will be in the show notes. Thanks again for joining us this week. I am Steve Squirrel for myself and Amy. We hope you have a great night, and we'll see you around the kingdom next week.
Goodbye, everyone.